I'm going to show you how to do this question because it's hard and a lot of people find it difficult. And again, you can do the whole thing on your calculator. So a quadratic is when you have a squared on an x, right? And then you have some stuff after it. Anytime you see a quadratic, you can do it on your calculator, only if you have this calculator. So let me show you how to do this. I'm going to show you the top one first. This is called the difference of two squares, and it's really difficult to spot. And I know from experience that a lot of people just don't know what to do with it. And again, I'm going to show you how to get full marks on this question without really understanding it at all. The point of this thing is that you can type a quadratic into your calculator. It's the same place. If we go here, it's equation func. Not simul, it's polynomial. So you hit number 2 for polynomial. And again, the degree, this is, whenever you get this option of 2 to 4, you just hit 2. The degree basically means what's the power of x here, and that number's a 2, so we're going to hit 2. You just type it in here. Now, this one is a bit tricky. This is quite advanced because I'm showing you this without showing you the normal situation. But basically, you have to pretend that this is like this. I know a lot of people might think this is kind of annoying or pretty advanced. This is hard. Like this question is a grade 9 question, but I'm going to show you how to tackle it without really understanding what's going on. But you have to imagine there are no x's. So on a normal quadratic, you'd have something like x squared plus 7x minus 10 or something. You'd have some x terms, some x squared terms, some x terms, and then some numbers. What's going on? And then some numbers. But here you don't have any x terms in the middle. But if you type this into your calculator, right? Now, remember, this is x squared, and my calculator is saying, well, how many x squareds do I have? Now, just like in the simultaneous equations one, you have to insert a 1 here. So I'm going to say 1. I've got 1x squared. How many x's have I got? I've got 0. So yeah, you can either just hit equals or you can type 0 whenever you want to hit. And then over here, I've got minus 16. And then you hit equals. And then you hit equals again, and it solves it for you. So if you hit equals again here, bang. What this has done is solved the equation. And the thing that you're going to get marks for in this paper is factorizing quadratics. If you can factorize a quadratic, you're going to get lots of marks. And the one thing that you need to remember is, or two things that you need to remember. First thing that you need to remember is that this is going to look like this. So the top of this fraction, I'm going to rewrite as this, and it's going to look like x and then x. X something and then x and then something. The bottom one is going to kind of look the same, except because this is a 2x squared, it's a bit more complicated. I'll get onto that, but it's not going to be x and x. You're going to basically end up with 2x and x. But anyway, let me just show you how this works. Whatever your answer is here, you flip the sign and stick it in the bracket. So if it's 4, you put x minus 4. I can't. We don't have time to talk about why. Doesn't matter. Just do it. If you hit equals again, you get another answer. Now, this answer is minus 4. So what you're going to do is flip the sign to make it plus 4. And now you factorized it. I will tell you very quickly. The reason why this minus 4 is the number that makes this bracket 0. If x was minus 4, it's minus 4 plus 4. That's the reason that you flip the sign and stick it there. But you don't need to know that to get the marks. You just need to do it. Now what I'm going to do is show you how to factorize this one on the bottom. Okay. Now this is, if you keep hitting equals, it tells you the minimum or the maximum point. So it tells you the turning point on the graph. And again, this is actually sometimes really useful for a question. It tells you the x and the y value of the turning point. So what I'm going to do is now type this equation in. Okay. So let me show you. You hit 2. Then I'm going to hit minus 5. And then I'm going to hit minus 12 and then hit equals. So that is this down here. Okay. I'm just type that in. I'm going to hit equals. The answer is 4. So what am I going to do? I'm going to just flip this sign and write minus 4. Now I'm going to hit equals, and there's one little thing here that I need to show you. Whenever you do this quadratic function on your calculator and you end up with a fraction here, you take the bottom number and you stick it next to the x. So it's like 2x. And then you just do the same thing that I did before. You flip the sign. So instead of minus, I'm going to write plus. And then you write that 3. So the 3 goes there. Now, you might think that's a bit annoying to remember. Oh, how am I supposed to remember to do that? But like, if I were to teach you how to do this from scratch, your teachers take you about 2 to 3 weeks to teach you how to factorize quadratics. It's really complicated. It's difficult. It's a really difficult thing. But on a calculator paper, you have to be punching this into your calculator, because even if you know how to do this, why would you not just double check on your calculator and just make sure you're not making any silly mistakes? What you do from here is you cancel these out. Now, this always happens when you have this kind of question. You're looking for 2 of the brackets to be the same, and they just cancel out completely, and you're left with this. Okay. But before we put this into the answer box, I'm going to show you how to check your answer here. So this is a really useful method that I've come up with. This is not something that you're taught at all, but again, it's some exam technique that will really help you. Anytime you have an algebra question and an algebra answer, what you're basically saying is that these two things in the orange boxes are the same. You're trying to say that they're the same. And so what this means is if you put a number in for X, both of them should give you the same answer. And it's an amazing way to double check whether you've got the question right. I would recommend only doing this at the end of the paper, but most of you probably get to the end of the paper, you've got 20, maybe 30 minutes left. I don't know. Everyone's different. Some people really push for time, but especially if you have extra time, you've got so much time to use and you want to have all these different things at your disposal to work out how to actually make the most of your time. So what I'm going to show you how to make the most of your time. I'm going to hit menu and 1. I'm going to go back to the normal setup. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to make up a number for X. Now, it doesn't matter what this number is. It could be literally anything. I'm going to say 3. So the way you store a number as X is this. You go 3 store X. And do you see it has this weird thing? Now, what this means is if you then hit X, it is actually the number 3. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to type this nasty thing up here. Let me just get rid of that thing so I can see it. I'm going to go fraction X squared minus 16. Hit the down arrow, go 2 X. You'll get really quick at doing this, by the way. This might feel it's a bit slow when I'm doing it with my mouse, but you'll get really quick. If you get really quick at doing this, it's so useful. Now I'm just going to hit equals. I'm going to see what this is. So that's 7 9s. Now this is kind of a bit, I would kind of write this over here in the corner or something and just say that's 7 9s. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to type this thing in now. So I'm going to start again, hit fraction. I'm going to go X plus 4. Down, I'm going to go 2X plus 3. And what I want to do here is I'm going to hit equals. And if the answer is the same as before, if the answer is 7 9s, that means I've got the question right. Like 100%, I've got the question right. And if it's not the same, it means I've made a mistake. And now I need to go and find what that mistake is. So I'm going to hit equals. I'm crossing my fingers. I'm hoping it's 7 over 9. Bang. Yes. Brilliant. Great. So again, do you see that in an exam, this is just so useful to have this. If you know how to use your calculator properly and you have these tips and techniques, it just feels good to be like, oh, thank God, okay, I've got that one completely correct. Okay, so I can write that in the answer box. X plus 4 over 2X plus 3. Awesome. Okay, I know I've got that right. Now, maybe you could even, what I would personally do in an exam is put a little tick underneath it or something to say, I've checked that. I know that's correct. So at the end of the paper, when you go back to double check everything, you don't need to check this question because you